There were more fireworks in the Wyoming State Legislature Tuesday with a narrow vote over the resurrection of a bill that would eliminate gun-free zones. A rare earth minerals factory near Upton could give the U.S. a competitive edge over China, and Wyoming's grizzlies are still quiet as spring approaches. We'll take a look at these stories and more today from Wyoming's largest news organization. I'm Wendy Kaur for Cowboy State Daily. Although Senate President Ogden Driscoll narrowly avoided being overruled by the members of his own chamber Monday night, he wasn't able to avoid the same fate Tuesday. Cowboy State Daily's Leah Wolfson reports that the Wyoming Senate twice voted to suspend its own rules to resurrect a bill that eliminates gun-free zones, legislation that had been killed on a 3-2 vote in the Senate Judiciary Committee late Monday night.
Driscoll had said it needed 2/3 vote, and the body overruled him on that measure 16-15, and then voted again 16-15 to bring the bill back when it was determined that they could suspend the rules to allow this to take place.
The overturn took place less than 24 hours after another highly contentious vote Monday, when the Senate voted 15-15 to support Driscoll's move to set up a new committee for the biennial budget negotiations. Rare Element Resources Limited is set to complete a rare earth minerals demonstration factory in Upton this summer that's viewed as a first step toward putting the U.S. in a better competitive advantage with China, which has long dominated the sector. Energy reporter Pat Mayo says the demonstration-scale processing plant, which was unveiled in a groundbreaking ceremony last fall, is pioneering a new, more efficient method to extract rare earths.
They're getting funded quite a bit from the Department of Energy, about $21.9 million. They're also going out for a rights offering, which essentially means as a publicly traded company, they're selling stock in their company to shareholders, $35 million worth.
Canadian-based Rare Element Resources is holding the line to a July opening date for the demonstration project, despite concerns about inflation driving up the construction cost of the $44 million project. Wyoming's senior Republican is running for the second highest Senate position in his party. Senator John Barrasso announced Tuesday morning he's running to become Republican whip in the U.S. Senate. Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports that if he wins, he'd be the number 2 to the new Republican leader set to replace the current leader, Senator Mitch McConnell.
He was considered a frontrunner to possibly replace Senator Mitch McConnell, who's stepping down as Republican Senate leader in November, along with John Cornyn and John Thune. But Barrasso, after remaining tentative for about a week, announced Tuesday morning that he would instead seek the position of Republican whip, which is second in the Senate party.
McConnell announced last week he'll step down as the Republican Party leader in November. However, his Senate term doesn't end until January 2027. I'll be back with more news right after this.
Three Crown Petroleum is a private oil and gas company that drills oil wells in Wyoming, adjacent states, and internationally. Three Crown is actively looking to lease minerals for drilling or to buy minerals, royalty, or existing production within Wyoming. To learn more about Three Crown, call or text Howard Cooper at 970-756-4747. Again, call or text Howard Cooper at Three Crown Petroleum, 970-756-4747.
After a Wyoming legislative committee killed a bill seeking to allow more charter schools in the state, a lawmaker tried and failed to resurrect it. Representative Ocean Andrew of Laramie asked the Wyoming House of Representatives Tuesday to resurrect Senate File 128 from the burn pile after the House Education Committee voted it down 6-3 on Monday. That's according to Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland.
Senator Dockstader came to the House Education Committee with a bill that had sailed through the Senate that would have allowed a new state authorized charter school this year. And there was also an amendment where it could possibly have allowed 3 new charter schools before 2028. But the committee torched that amendment, and then the committee downvoted the bill.
The law currently will allow a 4th charter school approval, but not until after July 1st, 2026. And the earliest risers among Wyoming's bears generally start coming out of their dens in March, but there's been only a little activity so far this year. Outdoors reporter Mark Hines spoke to the Wyoming Game and Fish Department about the early risers among the state's bear population.
At least with the grizzly bears, it's mostly going to be the older, bigger, dominant males that are going to be coming out now early, and then the other classifications of bears will come out later. So that means 399. Last year it was the middle of May before she popped out, so who knows when she'll appear this year.
And that's today's news. Get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting the subscribe button on CowboyStateDaily.com. I'm Wendy Kaur for Cowboy State Daily.